In this section of this tutorial, we are going to learn about HTML document structure. HTML document structure is what determines how a browser displays a web page on a computer screen. Now let us show this using some examples. We are going to open Visual Studio Code, where we are going to be writing our HTML. Here on my system, Visual Studio Code is opened. And now to get started, I'll click on the File menu and click on New File link, or Ctrl N to create a new file. Okay, now we have to save this file as HTML document. Now to do that, let us first create a folder where we are going to be saving all our HTML documents. So I'll click on the new folder to create my folder on the desktop. So I will name this folder HTML tutorial. Okay, so back to my Visual Studio Code, I'll click on the file, save, or using the Ctrl S key combinations, you can also save a file. So I'll click on the save, and we can choose to name this whatever, but on this tutorial, let's name this file index. To save as HTML, what we do is to add the .html to the name of our file. So this shows that this file is going to be saved as HTML document. You can also remove the L and just write .htm. This will still work fine, but in the course of this tutorial, we are going to be using HTML. So now we are going to navigate to where our folder is. Here we have it on the desktop. I'll click on the desktop, then here is the folder. I'll click to open the folder and save. Okay, so I'll minimize this, and here is our folder. Once we click on it, we have this file here. So I'll right click on this file and click on the open with link to see the options of applications here. Now this is HTML file. We are expected to open it with a browser. So I have a lot of browsers here, but in the course of this tutorial, we are going to be using Google Chrome. So I'll click on it right away, and what we'll see is a blank screen because our HTML file or our HTML document contains no HTML code. And also take note of this, it picks the name of the file as the title of this document. So let's go back to our Visual Studio Code and write some HTML. Now, because we are using an IDE, whatever we write, Visual Studio Code is able to give us some help figuring out what we are about to write and complete it for us. But in case you are using an IDE that does not do that, you have to write your code completely by yourself. Okay, so right now I'll do this. Now automatically you discover that a lot of options are displayed telling me what, trying to figure out what I'm about to write. So if I find what I'm about to write in all of these options, there are a lot of options, okay? In all of these options, I will just click it instead of having to type it from beginning to end. These are just to help you to be fast with your typing. So now here, what we are actually looking for is right here at the top, which is the doc type. We can choose to write it or just click on it to make use of it. So I just clicked on it to make use of it. So it's showing doc type HTML. So as the name implies, this is telling us that this document is of type HTML. Okay, so this doc type is telling the browser that, hey, this document you are opening is of type HTML. There can be other types of documents that the browser can open, like PDF, but usually the default documents for the browser is HTML. That is why even if you do not type this HTML, we assume that the document you are opening is of type HTML. So now here we are going to show a basic structure of HTML document. So now every HTML document begins with the tag HTML. So if I close it, all right, a closing tag of this HTML tag is automatically included. Like I said, in case you are not using an IDE that is able to automatically do some extra job for you, you have to type them. You have to type this manually. HTML has its own end tag, which is this, which is specifying HTML again, but adding a / before it. In fact, over 80% of tags you are going to be writing in HTML, they are going to be having their closing tag in this form: the name of the tag and a / before it. So now every HTML document begins with HTML tag and ends with HTML closing tag. Another important tag needed in HTML is the head tag. Okay, this is actually the document head. Now, tags that are usually found in the document head are usually browser related tags or HTML document related tags. For instance, to give a title to your document, you use the title tag between your header tag. For instance, let's name the title of this document as our first tutorial. Okay, so I'll click on the file menu link, then click on the save. Now I've saved this, then I'll minimize, and here's the browser. So remember, that document is what we opened on this browser, and this is the link. So now if we refresh after saving the document, we will see that the title of this document has changed to our first tutorial. So back to Visual Studio Code, the body tag, and it's written this way, the body tag. So the body tag is what wraps every tag that display content on the screen. Okay, so whatever you write between your body tag is what can display content in your screen. So I'll save. Now our screen will still be blank because we have not added anything to the body tag. To do so, let's add a header title. Okay, so let's add header 1. Okay, so now header title 1, which is also header 1. We can say our first title. So I'm using the Ctrl S to save. So I've saved that. So if I come to the browser and I refresh, you'll see that we'll have our first title. Okay, so we can change this, our first title. So if I minimize and refresh, you see the change is taking effect immediately. So now I can add a smaller header like header 2. You see the higher the number, the smaller the display. Okay, let's say our smaller title. Okay, so I'll minimize and refresh. You see that also displays. So we can add other tags here, like the paragraph tag, and say this is more content. Okay, and save and come back. So you see it displays because it is wrapped between the body tag. Thank you for staying on this section. Let's move to the next.